Long distance relationships are pretty difficult because we're always worried that the other person is going to fall out of love with us. So how do you make him miss you when you're in a long distance relationship? Well, in this video, I'm actually going to tell you how to do just that. Hey everyone, welcome back to my YouTube channel. I'm Renee Slansky. I'm a professional dating and relationship coach. And in this video, I want to kind of give you my advice and my tips when it comes to actually getting your partner to miss you if you are in a long distance relationship. Now, I have done another video on long distance relationships and how to make it thrive even when you're actually apart. So I recommend also watching that as well. But here are my tips right now. Number one, get visual. The problem is that especially if you are dating a guy, he is more visual than, say, when it comes to texting or things like that. So you want to make sure that you're trying to keep up as many visual sort of photos or videos of you so that he can see you. Because when he actually is able to see you a little bit more, he will be triggered emotionally to connect with you and to actually miss you. If you're just relying on phone calls or texts, then you're not really appealing to a big part of what a man needs, and that is kind of a visual vision, like an idea, a visual picture, okay? It's actually proven that men even prefer sex with the lights on as opposed to sex with the lights off because they are visual guys. They want to see what it is that is in front of them. Now, because you are actually separated over distance, you can't just pop in and out of each other's houses. So that's why you need to use what you have, such as Skype, such as Messenger, such as, your camera on your phone. Don't get lazy just because you don't have this time together. If anything, you should be up in the visuals even more so. Send him little videos. Now, that doesn't mean you have to be all sexy. You want to just show him photos and videos of yourself as you start to think about him. When I was in my long distance relationship, which we did for 4 years, I was constantly sending videos and photos to him through Messenger. And this was not even waiting until he was awake, because obviously you're in different time zones most of the time. This was about going, well, I saw this picture, so I'm going to send him this picture of this, or I'm going to just send him a quick video saying what I ate for breakfast, okay? You almost kind of want to have it so that you're giving him a daily vlog of your life so that he feels that he's a part of it, and then he starts to really miss your company because every time he sees you, it actually triggers that emotional response. Number two, you need to communicate daily and you need to up the communication. Now, when you communicate with him, it's really important that you don't always go on about how you just wish you can be together and how you miss each other and you come across as really kind of needy and desperate, because that's actually going to make him feel that you're making him feel guilty that you can't be together, or that it's just too much hard work. You want the communication to be really positive, and you also want it to still be kind of intimate, and on the other hand, you want it to also be conversational. Pretend that you do live in the same country. Pretend that you do live in the same house. How would you normally speak to each other? Send him voice messages so he can actually hear your voice. Send him those text messages, whether it's, oh my gosh, I just ran into a friend and this is what they said, okay? Talk to him like you would as if he was actually already there. And when he's actually already there in your life, you obviously don't always go on about needy stuff all the time. You talk about basic stuff. You talk about maybe the weather. You talk about your work. You talk about day-to-day things. And then you have moments where you talk about intimate things and you get a little bit more deep and meaningful. Either way, again, you can't get slack with communication. You have to actually increase it because you want to be on their mind, and you want to make sure that when he checks his phone, he actually sees a nice cute little message from you, or he sees something funny, or he feels that he hasn't missed out on your day and you haven't missed out on his day because you're able to relay that to him purely through text. And don't forget, text is also a great way to still increase chase in a relationship, because even though he's on the other side of the world, it doesn't mean that you can't still have that chase. Obviously, there does need to be more communication, but you can still create chase even in that communication, such as not always answering him straight away, such as, being a little bit cheeky and a little bit flirty in those texts, and also making him wonder sometimes what it is that you're doing so that he then reaches out to you. Number 3, you actually want to trigger memories, okay? Now, people miss somebody because then they start to think about them because they realize all the good times that they actually had with that person. The last thing that you want him to do is to associate the relationship that he has with you as too hard and too painful because of the distance that you guys actually have. So you need to constantly be reminding him of the good times you had. What I actually did is I actually made a book that had photos of us and everything that we did, and he took that with him so that every time he felt sad or lonely, he could actually look through that. Now, every guy is different. Some guys aren't into that, and I don't want you to come across as a crazy, white girlfriend, but it's about going, okay, well, how can I trigger a positive memory in his life? Maybe it is just sending him a photo. When Facebook brings up those 5 years ago you did this sort of thing. It might be where you went to a great concert and that photo is buried back in the deep of your phone, and you go in and you search it and you send it to him and say, oh, remember when we did this? How crazy was that night? And then you start to allude into a conversation, and I guarantee if you start to talk about a really good time, he'll be like, oh yeah, I miss you so much, okay? And he'll start thinking about you because he'll start remembering all the good times that he actually had with you, hence why he knows he's invested in this relationship and why he's going to keep being in it and trying to make it work. Number 4, as I mentioned before, don't come across as needy. If you're coming across as someone that's putting so much pressure on him or emotionally blackmailing him, even if you don't mean to, because you're always talking about how sad you are, that you can't be together, and yada, 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 he's going to assume that you're not fulfilled outside of him, which means that you're going to come across as half a woman and that you are going to put the pressure on him to be the other half of you, which is not how healthy relationships can work. So it's really important that, again, as I said before, that you need to, yes, communicate daily, but just make sure that when you do communicate that you're coming across really positive, that you're affirming that you're still thriving, that you're still doing really well, that when you do speak to him, it's not to say that you're not allowed to express your emotion and your pain, because that's important to be open and vulnerable about that, but don't make that your focus. Don't make the distance your focus. You want to make the memories that you had, the relationship that you have, and the love that you have, and the strength that you have from just being apart from each other, that's what your focus should be, not, the neediness, the pain, and everything else in between. And lastly, if you really want to get him to miss you and realize how much of an amazing woman you are, hence why he's going to keep investing in this relationship, is show him that you are thriving. I think the number one thing that men really love about a woman, besides being confident, is seeing that she's able to sustain herself, seeing that she has her own purpose and her own goals, and that she is fulfilled and whole outside of him. Because a man appreciates that, because he's already got a legacy that he wants to build and all these challenges he wants to overcome, and that's just how men work, okay? They're going out and they're building these empires most of the time. We as women, because we're nurturers and we're gatherers, we need to communicate to him that we know how to sustain ourselves outside of that relationship when he's not actually there. It'll take the pressure off him to make him feel that he has to race back and be with you, especially if he can't. He'll feel better about himself when he's with you, okay, or knowing that he's in this relationship with you. And that's, again, the number one reason why men commit, because they need to know that when they're with you, it's because they feel they're a good man and therefore you're a good woman for them, okay? So if you're making him feel bad about the situation, then he's not going to feel good about being with you, because he'll basically feel bad about himself. So if you can communicate to him that you are thriving, that you're still doing your thing, that yes, you miss him and you're sad and you can't wait to be together with him again, but that you're still goal-orientated, you still got your own life going on, then he's going to see you as a woman who is someone really independent, someone confident, someone thriving, and someone that is worth respecting, which is what you want. You want him to fall even more in love with you when he has that time apart from you, and that is something that he can do. Absence does really make the heart fonder if you do it right, girls. And one of those things is actually showing him that you know how to thrive and survive without him as well. All right, girls, those are my tips for you on how to get a guy to miss you over a long-distance relationship. Don't forget to check out my other video. And remember, if you want to actually watch my free coaching class on how to get a guy to commit and really give you that ultimate certainty that you want, then all you need to do is click the link in the bio below. Until next time, comment below for a video that you want me to do for you. Don't forget to subscribe and like, and I'll see you soon. Bye.